Drizzle. I am going to do just a quick video here. I did a much longer video earlier and the audio did not record for some lousy reason. There was a setting on my phone and it just decided it didn't want to work. So anyways, this is my new, well, I added in two more of my the Samsung Quantum Dot panels, so you can see I'm running them in AMD Eyefinity. I was running GTX 1080s and SLI. I sold those for $1,000. Used part of the money to get the two additional monitors, and then I bought two of these right here. As you can see, these are the Radeon R9 Fury. They're not the Fury X. The Fury X was more expensive, but these were on sale for like $250 a piece, and I had a gift card for my folks for Christmas for $50. And then they had like a rebate on these as well, so they were really like $230 a piece, and they're about 20% faster than the RX 480s I was looking at, even though they're a little bit older. Like I say, they're still about 20% faster, so I got two of these instead. They are a little loud. You can kind of hear the fans going right now in the background. That's them. I got it manually set to about 65%. The temps on them do get kind of hot, so I have to have the fan set up a little bit. But they were getting up to like 90% fan usage, and they were just getting ridiculously loud. Like, it's pretty loud now, but they sound like vacuum cleaners. But this is with that Resident Evil 7. I did a video of that here recently, and you can see this runs at a resolution with the three of these. It's like 3240 by 1920, and like it runs really well actually. Like I said, this runs pretty good, very smooth. There's a little delay, I think. Like the monitors are 144 hertz, and this phone only records at 60 frames a second, so you're going to lose a little bit of the frames. But you can see it's actually quite smooth. This is running on pretty much max settings. I turned down aliasing just a little bit. These cards, the only drawback, even though it's high bandwidth memory, but it's only 4 gigs. So once you start getting beyond, like around the quad HD range, you're gonna run into some issues with that sort of thing. Let me get over this game real quick. See, I don't know if you can see this or not. See, it's still running at 144 hertz, which is nice. It's a little bit less than like it's 3402 by 1904 because you have to like do this bezel compensation, and so you get kind of weird non-standard resolutions, but it looks pretty good. The only problem I'm having right now is I got these in part to try out the new AMD Relive software, and from what I can tell, it does not work at all. It doesn't do anything. I will load it up here, and you can see for yourself that AMD has shit the bed as far as I'm concerned. I can turn it on, but that's it. There's these different hold on a second, there we go. Sorry, there's a message on my phone. You have different options, like to enable desktop recording. It's similar to NVIDIA Shadowplay in that regard, but you have all these hotkeys here, and none of them do anything, and you can't change them. Like it says you can, but if I try, it just reverts to what it was. It won't let me, so it won't let me rebind any of these keys. There are some recording, I don't know if this is focusing very well, sorry. It's hard to read. You can change the recording resolution all the way up to 4K or like in-game, where you want to set it to. But it doesn't seem to matter what I set any of these things to. It doesn't do anything. None of the hotkeys work, and like I said, you can't rebind them or anything like that. I tried multiple games. I tried recording the desktop. It doesn't do anything. So that's kind of a bummer. Hopefully AMD fixes it pretty soon. I googled it, and it's all over their forums. Like, since the day that the Relive software launched, people have been reporting this, and of course, no word from them. You know, it's always, oh, it's your computer kind of stuff. So that's kind of a disappointment. Now I won't be able to basically record my gameplay footage unless I use like OBS or something, which I'll probably have to do because I don't have NVIDIA Shadowplay access anymore, which kind of sucks. So if they don't fix this by the time the 1080 Ti's come out, I guess I'm going to have to do 1080 Ti's. And I want to support AMD. I want NVIDIA to have competition, because a lot of people tend to think that NVIDIA has some shady business practices, and they do. But, I want to be able to record my gameplay in 4K at 60 frames a second, and it doesn't look like AMD wants to help me do that. The reason I jumped over, well, part of why I did this was, like I said, I wanted to get the extra monitors, and I just bought these cards as kind of like interim cards to last me until the 1080 Ti and or the RX 490 is supposed to both launch, I think, in like February-ish of next year. And so, not too long to wait, and I'll just use these for a while and then sell them back off, because I got such a good deal on them. I can probably get pretty much what I spent on them back out of them when I sell them. But, like I say, if AMD can't get their software together, then, I don't know what else to say, except for I can't support their products if they don't do the things that NVIDIA products do. So that's unfortunate. I did do some benchmarks with the cards for people who are interested. My pair of GTX 1080s in SLI in 3D Mark Fire Strike were getting, what the heck were they getting? It was like 27 to 28,000, and these cards actually got almost 23,000. And actually, I was running them at stock versus my overclocked 1080s. So really, for half the price, you're getting a pretty good chunk of performance out of these cards. So the Fury X's must be, that much closer. That kind of surprised me. Like, I don't know, maybe my 1080s weren't quite getting, maybe they didn't scale as well in that particular benchmark. It's kind of hard to say. I did run also the, it's called the Time Spy benchmark, and that's DirectX 12, which these cards should have dominated in, and actually the NVIDIA cards scored like 12,000 in that, and these scored like 9,000. So they still did good, but especially considering, like I say, two of these are half the price of well, I should say two of these are about the same price as one 1080, and they're about 10% faster combined. But it just depends on the game, and it depends on like what version of DirectX it's in. Like DirectX 12 again, I imagine these would run like Tomb Raider, the most recent Tomb Raider game that has DirectX 12 support would probably run very well on these cards. And I did like a GTA 5 benchmark of these cards running at this resolution that these three monitors support. So basically a 3K resolution, and it stayed at 60 frames a second or better the whole time. But I wanted to try out AMD FreeSync, which does seem to be working. Like the image tearing isn't really there, so that's cool. And I just ran like Witcher 3 on basically max settings, other than I turned down the NVIDIA Hairworks a bit, because I think that that kind of trips up AMD cards a little bit. I can load up, I don't know, I can load up something else, but whatever. You get the idea. Yeah, anyways, we did the Resident Evil, that's fine. But everything seems to work on it pretty well, other than, like I say, the Relive software doesn't do anything. I left a message on AMD's Facebook page. I don't know that they'll answer it. They probably won't. They'll probably putter around, and in 2 to 3 months, maybe their drivers will support it. But by then, those other cards will be out, and if they don't have better recording software support by then, I probably have to go back to NVIDIA. Sorry, AMD. Sorry, AMD fans. If they can't deliver, the recording software I need for my YouTube channel, then I kind of don't have any choice. But with that said, I appreciate people watching the channel. This has been Drizzle. If anybody has any questions about these monitors or how to do this setup or the video cards themselves, the R9 Furies, these are Sapphire branded. As you can see, Nitro. They're like a 3-fan version. They're pretty loud. But like I say, anybody has any questions, leave it in the comment section, or you can leave it on the discussion section on my channel, and I will happily get back to you as soon as possible. I check it pretty regularly, so I can get back to you quickly enough. But thanks for watching, and have a great day. Yep, have a good one. Bye.